Hello, good morning. This is Court McCutcheon, President, Texas Select Insurance Group. On this week's episode of Things That Come Across Our Desk, I want to discuss with you guys deductibles, right? Those always seem to be confusing. We spend a lot of time explaining to clients about what's the difference between a 1%, 2%, 3%, even a 5% deductible. Well, there's always two deductibles on a policy, right? We're talking about property policies, like your house or your business that you have of the building insured. The first deductible is everything else. The second deductible, usually the higher deductible, is always a percentage. And that percentage can be 2% about the norm in Texas. And most of our people that have these questions think about it in terms of, well, I have a $500,000 piece of property or a house or a building, and the claim was, $20,000. The issue here is they think that's the claim that they have is 2% of that claim. No big deal. That would only be $4,000, right? So great, let's move on. But that's not actually how it works. The percentage deductibles are the deductibles that are for the value of the building. So if you have a $500,000 building with a 2% deductible, then you have a $10,000 deductible. So on that is as it pertains to wind and hail. And so that's a very common miscommunication or misconception rather, when people get their policies and review them right quick and it says 2%, no problem, I think I can stomach that. So the higher the value of the building, the higher the deductible is going to be. We have seen it range in Texas from about 1%, a low deductible, which is uncommon, to 5%, which is if you're in one of these hazardous areas where you get a lot of hail, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, these kinds of things, then 5% could be the number. So now if you go back to your $500,000 house, you have a 5% deductible, $25,000. So hopefully that might help clear up any misconceptions about deductible. I didn't really discuss the other deductible for all other perils other than wind and hail because usually those are fairly low still, $2,500. That's not where we see the claims. We see claims from wind and hail. So that is where insurance carriers have taken that and said, look, we're going to do a higher deductible on that. That's the number one thing we see. And we're going to help alleviate maybe some of that stress of us paying for older roofs that were already 20 years old and that kind of thing. So at any rate, I hope this helps you to maybe take a look at your policy, whether it be on a commercial building or a house, and take a look and see what your deductible is. We might be able to work with you here at Texas Select Insurance. We've got a group of about 8 agents here that are all super knowledgeable on that. So if you need anything, let us know. We can always be reached at 325-777-1772. Or you can get us on Facebook, Twitter, all of the social media apps, and we'd love to help you out. So thanks a lot for listening to Things That Come Across Our Desk.